To another, I would say a fun day here at Mike McCoy Productions. We're going to do another draw for the members, and we got obviously Mr. McCoy, our treasurer, who runs the show, and we've got a very special guest as well. But firstly, Mick, what's been happening? Any news on anything, and what's going on around the club?
G'day, Derm, and thank you very much for inviting us back to the Derminator Hangar, mate, for another exciting episode. Well, footy-wise, mate, no more news since last Thursday, Friday. So we're still playing a waiting game, just to so I can't really tell the faithful anything more than that at this stage. But today we're doing the draw in lieu of our fourth scheduled away game, which was going to be against Noble Park this coming Saturday.
Ooh, the ball ring.
So this Saturday was going to be our 8th game of the season. So that's how much we're missing the season at this stage.
Amazing.
So all the members are in this draw, mate. Same as last week. $453 cash and a House of Golf $100 voucher. Very thanks to Daniel Richards, our great supporter from the House of Golf at Ringwood.
Good man.
And all right, now, Derm, question for you, mate. I've had a few people, some of the faithful, been going down to Moreton Park during the week, around about late afternoon, wanting to get a little bit of the great Dudley Smith. They want to see him in action, mate. Have you heard anything from Dudley?
Well, actually, Mick, it's funny you should ask, because I had a phone call last night from Legal Aid. This young lawyer said Dud's in a little bit of strife, as he calls it, a misunderstanding, and
right.
I don't think we will, unless he's a good boy, we might not see him for a couple of months.
Oh.
But I'm going to put a word in for him, character reference, and with a bit of luck, we might see him out on the track in about 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay, great. Okay, well, that's good. I'm not too sure about what's happening there, Dan, but well, I'll just thanks, Jules. Jules in the background there. Yeah, Sergeant Connie. We might have to get in touch with Sergeant Connie again. All right, mate. Let's move on. We're here today to do the draw, and our guest barrel man is no other than Mick Tuminello.
Yeah, Mr. Tuminello. I better just get it close up because he's got an absolutely cracking beard going.
Good afternoon, gents.
What a ripping beard, Tuma.
And thanks for the invite.
Pleasure.
That's my COVID beard. COVID beard, and it's not coming off until footy starts again.
Ooh, okay,
Jesus
right.
Christ, could we dead the ankles of it?
Approved by Sheila, mate. That's all good.
It's not too bad.
Right. You do scrub up very well, very nicely, Tom. Now, welcome, mate. We're going to do the draw. Just a little bit about yourself, just to kick off this little episode. We'd like to find out a little bit about people. Now, my understanding is you're now retired, and you spent a bit of time with the good wife Sheila down at
Down at the island.
Phillip Island. Got a little
yes.
house down there.
We have, yes.
Yes.
Beautiful.
You catch up with the Duns down there, or?
We do on occasion, but just lately, whenever we're down there, they're up here, and vice versa. So we haven't had a chance, but whenever we do get the chance, we catch up.
Okay, fantastic. Now, mate, you're retired now, but my understanding is you worked for BP for a long time as a fuels analyst. Would that be right?
Yeah, you could call it fuels technologist.
Fuels technologist, right. So you're an engineer of some note, Tom?
Well, chemist.
A chemist.
Chemist.
Right, okay. Now,
Fuel technology chemist.
right. Now, you and I had discussions about, fuel and all the different...
Well, you're an ex-shell man now,
I'm an
aren't you?
ex-shell
So,
man,
okay,
yes,
let's
correct.
not-
Now, I thought,
It's on here.
since you retired, that you just say, as I say, that all the fuels are just exactly the same. But you don't think that. You still back your BP fuels.
All fuels are exactly the same. It's the herbs and spices that go into them
Right.
that
Well,
differentiate them.
we've got another herbs and spices episode there, like Carl with his Carl
So
beans.
you want me to put in a plug for BP Ultimate? Because if you're not using it, you should be.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
We'll take note of that. Now, Tom, going through your bio, you played 200 games for Bourne back in the 1970s and 1980s.
I did.
Played in 4 losing grand finals.
I did.
Yes.
Not a good record there.
Now, mate, I'm thinking last week we spoke to, the week before we spoke to Fiery, and he came across as a guy that would have been a hard-nosed defender. I reckon yourself, mate, I just look at you and there's a bit of the Mediterranean type look. You're a good-looking rooster. Now, I'm thinking back in your day, you would have had the big white ankle bandages, the low-cut Adidas boots, the very, very tight shorts like Worry Kappa. Just trying to and a very flashy sort of forward. Now, I sort of got you there or not?
No, you haven't nailed me at all. Mate.
Oh, okay.
I was more of
He
a
knows nothing about football.
dour
so-
defender. No, I was a running defender, put it that way.
A running defender. So like a quarterback off the half-back line.
Yeah, like a
Bruce Dool.
Tyler Faulkner in
Oh,
today's,
Tyler Faulkner.
Right, okay.
today's parliament.
So I had a bit of pace.
I did, yeah.
Right.
That's gone.
That's the same with all of us, mate. Just quickly, Paul Molan. You played with your good mate Paul.
My brother-in-law and good
My
mate,
brother, a
yes.
lot of people
Yes.
don't know that. You're actually married to
Sheila Molan,
Sheila Molan. Yes.
Paul's younger sister.
Right. There's
And the
something.
best-looking Molan of the lot.
Right. Tell you what, that's not too hard when you have a look at Paul.
She's got 5 brothers.
Sorry, Paul. All right. Now, okay. Moving on from Sheila and Paul. Sorry, we're going to ask the story about Paul Molan once lost ball and the opportunity to play in the grand final. Is that right?
He won't want to it's brought up again, that's for sure.
Well, you can quickly tell the story, mate.
Paul came back to play in the preliminary final, which we won and won well. After many weeks out injured, nobody checked, but he had played one less game than was required to play in the
Oh,
finals.
not qualified.
So he wasn't qualified, and we got ousted out of the grand final.
Right.
Yeah. So
You reckon you would have been a chance to win it, or?
the way we were playing, yes, we were,
Right.
we were a
Okay.
definite chance to win it.
Ouch.
And they still went on to give Paul a life membership.
Explain that away.
And you're a life member yourself down there, Tom.
Well done.
We'll move on. Obviously, you've had a couple of boys, which you started at Blackburn with Auskick, with Andrew, and then Matthew. So you've been with the club now for probably, 25 years with the Burners?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. You've been president, secretary, treasurer of both the junior clubs and the senior clubs.
Not as much involvement with the juniors, but I coached down there.
Oh, you
for
coached these, coached
for a
the
number of
premiership.
years, and yes.
Right.
So yeah, I've done my time with both the juniors and now the seniors.
Yes.
Both boys have played over 100 games and now retired,
Yes.
and I'm still here.
You're still going.
Well, it does say in your bio that you outlasted your boys, and you're still on the committee. You're the senior vice president of the club.
I am.
Certainly giving a great mentoring or playing a great mentoring role for the new president, Casey Johnson,
And who's doing a great job, by
who's
the
doing
way.
an excellent job. Now that brings us to why you're here, mate. Now you're in charge of the
Finally.
history book. Finally, yes.
I'm not in charge of it, but I'm
coordinating.
I'm coordinating
Okay.
our publications committee.
Right. Tell us firstly a little bit about James Nicholas, who's the man who's putting it together, and he's been working on this for a number of years.
He has. James is a local guy, played footy with Camberwell,
Yep.
so he's played a good level. But his passion, along with football, is history, and he's a local historian. He's written a number of histories along the way, and he offered to write Blackburn's history.
Right.
The good part about it, he offered to do it for nothing.
Well, even
So
better.
that was even better. Would please the treasurer, of course.
Certainly, yes.
So we snapped up his offer, and I think he started around 2015, 16,
Right.
and went way back to when the club first started back in 1903.
Right.
And the history is not only a history of the footy club, but also in the very early years a history of Blackburn, which I've been a Blackburn resident for many years, and a lot of stuff I didn't know. And on my first read through, I was fascinated.
Right.
So I think most people from within the Blackburn region, when they do get to read it, will be likewise.
It'll be a great read. Right.
Yes, it is a great read.
Okay. It's substantial, Tom. I understand it's 200 pages.
About 200 A4, 210 A4 pages as it stands now.
Yes.
Our intentions were to publish and have it out this year, but COVID has put a bit of a stopper on that.
Yep.
However, we have used that time wisely. So we've primped it up a bit. At the moment, it's getting professionally edited, so we'll have that back in a week or two, and then we'll get it onto typesetting and then print it. David Schwab, who many of you will know, passionate Blackburn supporter, has done a great job with designing the covers back and front and the inside covers.
Right. Can you give us a quick glimpse?
And we can give you a sneak peek.
Sneak peek.
At the front cover. And Derm's going to come right on here. And as you can see, it's entitled "The Mighty Fighting Burns,"
Right.
which
So
is
Timmy Watkins there on the left, Mooch, great, who played the most games for Blackburn on the right-hand side, and an old team photo.
that's the 1930 Premiership team
Right.
in the background there. So
Fantastic.
great looking cover, and a fantastic job by Schwabby,
Yes.
who's actually a grandson of Butch Schwab, who's a legendary trainer, Blackburn trainer, going back into the 40s, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
And incidentally, on reading the history, I found out that Swabby's great-great-grandmother was one of the original Blackburn residents.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Well, that's
he certainly has a history, and he really loved doing this work. So
Yeah.
good on him.
The other thing I'm thinking he's doing with his sons, who I think might be the smart ones behind him, is doing something with old photos and being able to clear that up. I don't know what the term is, but there's the 1910, which is the,
Now, Derm,
to our knowledge, that's
Yeah,
the
but that-
first premiership for Blackburn Tum.
the first Premiership, 1910.
Now he's degrained it or something, is
He's
that right?
well, digitally remastered.
Digitally remastered. That looks fantastic. It's so clear.
It is. It looks like it was taken yesterday.
Yeah.
So he's offered as another project to remaster many of the club's old photos.
Fantastic.
And we do have a heap of them, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they certainly might take pride of spot in the new club rooms, Tum. So,
They may do, yes.
yeah. Now, tell me, with the book, have we got a price point at this stage, or are you still sort of looking to put that together?
I think our A4 sized booklet, which will be a couple of hundred pages, we're looking around the $40, $50 mark for that.
Cheap.
We're also thinking of a coffee table edition, which will be a hardcover.
Yep.
Hardcover bound, and that may be another, you could add probably another $30 to that, I would think.
Okay.
For those that really do want something, and Dermot's just put up his hand.
He wants two.
He wants three.
Three, right. Okay. But the launch of the book's all going to be subject to whether we get footy going this year. If we do, then there's a chance that we can do something. But if it doesn't get up, it'll be probably maybe when the new room's open or something like that.
That might be a good opportunity to do it. I'd love to see it launched this year.
Yep.
In other words, I'd love to see footy back this year.
Yep.
And if and when it does, we will launch the book at hopefully a big function.
Yep.
But that's going to depend on how many people we can obviously get in the room.
Yep. All right, fantastic. Tum, we better move on.
Move on
because,
along. Derm's giving the wind up.
the producers give me I can hear it with my earpiece.
We're due
All
for a
right.
commercial break, surely.
Yeah, we are indeed. So let's do the two draws. Anti-clockwise, Tum, give it a spin. You've done it before. And
What's this draw worth for, Mick?
this is $453 cash, Dermy.
Beautiful.
Last week's winner, Ian Holt, and then let's get one out there, Tum. When I told him about it, he was that excited. He actually sent there's one out there, Tum. Yep. I reckon Holty sent me
Just show me
bank
the ball.
details in about 8.5 seconds, mate. He was so keen to get the cash.
Up to the camera to Tom, I think.
62.
Number 62 is... That's
62 is Brian Marr.
Brian
Brian
Marr.
Marr, your $453
Oh.
ball goes back in there, Tum.
She's Brian to make something.
Congratulations, Brian.
You'll make something favourite on Saturday with that.
Yes, correct. Okay, now for the House of Golf $100 voucher. Last week's winner, of course, was Leith Bridges.
There she
We got them all
comes.
out.
Here she comes. Lucky number
112.
112.
112 is Mark Wilson.
Mark.
Willow.
Yeah, oh, Willow. Well done, Willow.
Well done, Willow.
Our man on the gates. Well, fantastic, Tum. Thank you very much for coming down today and telling us about a bit about the history book coming up. Stay tuned for further details on that. Next week, Derm, we've got a week off because the Queen's birthday, we're going to have a break. So Burners TV will have a break for a week. But once again, thanks Tom, thanks Derm for filming, and we'll see all the supporters in the week after next.
Go Burners.
Stay
Thanks,
safe,
guys.
be healthy.
Cheers.
Bye.